What was your first experience in Forest City?
Man, the first experience. You damn, I came right there with the T.I. dude. Oh man, as soon as I got that, me and T.I. got that 2 days apart.
And that's what I was gonna get into because that's what we got to get into. You know what I mean? I need you to clear this up. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead.
Rumor has it that you pulled a knife on T.I.
Right.
Most people know me as Wall Street Real, but for the last 15 years, 14 years, 9 months, 19 days to be exact, the government knew me as MA 43083-039. You're not tuned into my fair vacation.
Yeah, you know what it is. You're not tuned into another episode of My Fair Vacation. This kind of a part 2, but not really a part 2, but I had to bring my man back. He got a lot of jewels, a lot of game. Got my man T-Mac in the building. Anybody that didn't catch part 1, let them know a little bit about yourself, Mac.
Well, you know, man, T-Mac, I'm from the west side of Chicago, you know what I'm saying? In particularly, the Maywood deck, you know what I'm saying, for the 4CORNER hustlers, man. You know, been a 4CORNER hustle vice lord all my life, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm a representative of that a highly decorated representative, you know what I'm saying? So that's what you know what I'm saying? That's my foundation, you know, for existing. That's where I come from, that's what I represent. And that's what I'm fighting to better and be a better representative of, you know what I'm saying? But to go a little further, you know, I just recently been released from the feds, you know what I'm saying, the federal institution, you know what I'm saying? I came home from Yazoo after 24 years, you know what I'm saying, on kidnap charges, and doing that whole little journey, man. Had the opportunity to be, you know what I'm saying, blessed with so many new brothers, man. So many brothers all over the world. That's one of, you know what I'm saying, one of the it's just crazy how you can, don't nobody want to be in prison, but after don't nobody want to not know some of the brothers that you know now. So it's like, it's a crazy, it's a torn position to be in, to spend that type of time, and then God give you a chance to meet so many brothers throughout your journey that you would have never had a chance to meet had not you was in that situation.
And you know, Mac, I use that analogy as like, you know, regular straight-laced Joe Blow motherfuckers, when they go off to college,
Right.
They say they build relationships with motherfuckers they was in college with for the rest of their life.
Right.
And I think the Fed's like a criminal college to a certain extent, but the relationships that we done built over these years in these federal institutions, I think they last for life. You know what I'm saying? Like linking up with brothers such as yourself and brothers such as Buka, my man Charlie Wayne, or Ro from St. Louis, like, or my man Chill. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, these relationships are strong because at the end of the day, these relationships were built from the ground up when none of us had nothing. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, when we was all underneath that real pressure, that Fed pressure. Ain't no pressure can match that Fed pressure. So, you know what I'm saying? When you meet a group of individuals, you know what I'm saying, everybody experienced the same intensified pressure from our government. The United States of America, the most powerful country, you know what I'm saying, on the planet. That's who we all face. The United States of America versus each individual. That's what our indictment say, you know what I'm saying? So when you go deeper on it, when you get a chance to be in the trenches and have an opportunity to meet the type of men we had an opportunity to meet while up underneath this type of pressure, you meeting them in a rarest form. You see what I'm talking about? Like we always say, this shit gonna either make you or it's gonna break you. You know what I'm saying? So the men that were made by the situation, which that selected few that faced it and allowed the pressure to purge, you know what I'm saying, from within them something greater than they could have ever had imagined themselves becoming. You know, them the type of individuals I brag about being in company of.
And that's one thing about My Fair Vacation, like, I'm gonna hold myself to a certain standard where those are the only type of guys or women that you're gonna see on my show, you know what I'm saying? On my podcast, ones that didn't let the pressure break them, you know what I mean? Because a lot of motherfuckers can sit here and tell you, oh, I've been to the feds, this and the third. They told. They was in there a faggot. They was in there getting pressed. They was in there on some sucker shit. Ain't nobody you gonna see on this couch on this show is one of them. You know what I mean? We holding ourselves to a higher standard with the individuals that's on my show. Now, getting into your fair vacation. You say you got indicted for kidnapping, right?
Right.
And your case come from out of Jackson, right?
No, my case came out of Chicago where the victim was found down here.
Oh, that's how
they found the victim, traces the victim back down to this area. You know what I'm saying? But my case came out of Chicago.
For sure.
But then that's what made my case federal, because the victim hit
crossing the state lines.
Exactly. That would make a kidnap federal, because other than that, it would have been a state case.
Okay, so you know, on episode 1, and we had a little technical difficulties as far as the visuals on episode 1, but it was so many jewels in episode 1 that regardless of how the fuck it looked, I'm still gonna put it out there. But you know, we're gonna revisit a lot of those topics, some of those topics on this episode. So you started off at of course, MCC, the Durskin building in Chicago.
Not the that's the court building. MCC is the Metropolitan Correctional Center. Yeah. That's on Van Buren. The Durkison is where you go get slayed at. That's the actual courtroom.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? The building is what they call the building.
So the building, the infamous building. You know what I'm saying?
The building.
You know, me being a Midwest representative in the feds, in life, right. I got strong ties to Chicago, brothers.
Ain't no question.
So I'm aware of the building, the term the building, and I know that's referring to MCC. So, you know, eventually that's where your Fed vacation started at MCC. So, what was some of the shit you experienced at MCC?
I mean, like we did on the first recording that, you know what I'm saying, you had spoke on. The first most shocking thing that I had came in contact with after being placed into the building was just how so strategically they was able to take individuals that was testifying for the government and place them in places in the building where their co-defendant who was being victimized could never even meet them. You know, they had a thing called separate T passes, and the system works so eloquently, so professionally for the institution and for the authorities that they can have rats running up and down the same high rise that the men that they told on, and they could never get to them because they so strategically, you know what I'm saying, they'll freeze you and make sure, and the person that's cooperating will always have free reign. You might miss your visit with your family just because they want to keep you froze while this dude might be going to church, or might going to court, or might going to here. So the separate T passes inside the building was the first thing that shocked me. It really shocked it shocked the shit out of me for real, because I'm like, whoa. Oh, I see this now. It's like
that's
a whole
something
other
that
world.
y'all don't understand, like, man, like, seriously, man. The United States government play so many dirty fucking games, like, it don't make no sense. And, you know, it's like, if you ain't been through it, you'll never understand it. Like, it's mind-blowing the type of games and shit they play. Like, they're actually sitting, no motherfucker don't know you or none of that shit, but coaching to tell on you because they want you so bad. You know what I'm saying? Or look at it like this, you know, if you know me, you know I grew up idolizing to a certain extent John Gotti, but they let Sammy Gravano off and he told that he killed 19 motherfuckers. They let this man do 5 years just to get John Gotti. So that's just one of the examples of the dirty games the United States government play. And if you've been indicted, that motherfucking indictment say United States of America versus Terrell Wilkins versus Terrence McClurge.
And when they say the United States, they talking about all their resources.
You motherfucking right.
All they phone, they gonna phone top of your phone. They can have access to any specialist alive, any psychologist, any scientist, they can get access to any file, any record, anything. You know what I'm saying? It's the United States, the strength of the United States against you. That's why.
And aside from the telling, that's really why their conviction rate is so high, because most of us don't have, I don't give a fuck how much money you got. You don't got the resources that they got. So you up against the United States government. That's like
the most powerful
David and Goliath, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's like balloons to a blimp, you know what I'm saying?
Your little lawyer can't do nothing with the government. That's all the prosecutor and the judges, all them lawyers, whether it's your lawyer, whether it's the one that's besides you or the prosecutor, the judge, that's all of them is lawyers. All of them is lawyers. That's why most dudes walk around talking about, goddamn it, they want to call their lawyer, and I be like, yeah, I know you want to call your lawyer. The prosecutor, that's a lawyer. You know what I'm saying? Because the other motherfucker they appointed it ain't
most of the time your lawyer and the prosecutor is friends.
Yeah, you don't
so they don't give a fuck about bartering you off for the next client or however the fuck it goes.
And then most of them got appointed lawyers, so they call it, they using a possessional pronoun to describe an attorney, when all actuality, this is a person that's been appointed to you by the government, the same one
paid by the government.
So this is who they trying to appease the government who pays them.
Exactly.
So that's why they coming to you talking about a plea, coming to you talking about what you want to tell. Ain't even talking about no defense, ain't talking about no defense strategy, looking for no evidence, looking for no strength in no case. All they trying to get you to do is.
And I went through that, you know what I'm saying? Because like real nigga status, when I got arrested, you know what I'm saying? I ain't had my funds stacked to the roof, and the money I did have, I wanted to hold on to. I didn't want to just blow it on an attorney.
Right.
So I had a court-appointed attorney.
Right.
And you know what this motherfucker was? An ex-FBI agent. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't that a
An ex-FBI agent. And you know, everything is public record with my case. And as with most of our cases, especially when you kept it silent. Like you can go down to the federal building, it's public record, you can look all this up. So I tried to fire this motherfucker.
Right.
And you know, when you try to remove a lawyer off your case in the feds, you got to have a whole hearing for this.
Right.
So this motherfucker tell me he's an ex-FBI agent, and you just trying to press me to, man, get the fuck off my case. You know what I'm saying? So we were in front of the judge, and ultimately the judge denied me removing him as my attorney, but he wasn't my attorney.
Right.
He was their attorney. He used to be on their team.
Man, even if, he's their attorney.
Yeah, so, you know, back to your Fed vacation. So, from the building, you went to USP Terre Hut.
Right, that was my first joint, you know what I'm saying? But the building, I mean, that was the first shocking thing, you know. Before we jump all the way to the Terre Hut, we can have a whole motherfucking episode on
I know that,
just the building, because I stayed in the building. You got to understand, when I got to the building, you know what I'm saying? We going to trial. So, you know, our shit getting super goddamn intensified. You know what I'm saying? Then, so you guys, come on, man. This is the first time in the building. We snapping out. We whipping motherfuckers. We firing lawyers, hiring lawyers. I'm talking about we really learning what's going on. There's so much shit transpire. I can't just go to Terre Hut. I'll be bogus as hell. I go from just seeing that it was separate T-passes and go to Terre Hut. Nah, it's some shit happening. You know, some shit that I'm talking about just being, like I met Crusher there, you know what I'm saying? Other cases, because you got we there, then you got a lot of the big cases, the Kings, Milwaukee in there. You got some of Larry Hoover and them rapping still there, Too Short, DD, crushing them. These dudes is still in the building. You got the Maniacs still in the building. You got the Travelers indictments in the building. You know what I'm saying? We got our own case, but you got, you know, when they indict that guy from Chicago, they indict whole blocks. The Stones, goddamn it, all who out the band, or the Foles move out there. You know what I'm saying?
And I experienced that myself. Like I was seeing that when I first came in. Like, damn, all these dudes is from this organization, and that's how that happens. You know what I'm saying?
That's like, especially
you got a whole
conspiracy.
slew of motherfuckers on the conspiracy, from whether it's under a drug case or a gang situation or whatever the fuck it is. But you know, due to time constraints, we gotta kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah, okay, we're gonna jump. I just still want to just let it be known that there's so many other points we can come back and revisit. We ain't just gonna jump.
And that's why, for real, y'all gonna see this man on this show several times. You know what I mean? Because the man did 24 years, and this is my Fed vacation, and there's no way you can get 24 years out in an hour and a half. You know what I mean? So, you know, we ain't gonna make it repetitive or redundant, but this is gonna be a recurring guest on my Fed vacation. You know what I'm saying? I might even let him host his own segment episode of my Fed vacation. You know what I mean? Because we working it. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't no question.
Like I said in the first episode, like this is who kind of sparked the fire under me to work my pen game. You know what I'm saying? Like we first started working on my first project, the Wall Street Story, which would be the soon. You know what I'm saying? But that was a collaboration between me and his brother. So y'all will be seeing that soon. But from the building, you went to USP Terre Hut,
right?
The infamous USP Terre Hut,
right?
And you was at Terre Hut in the late '90s, early 2000s,
right?
When it was still Terre Hut,
right?
You know, because you know these federal institutions, they switch from this kind of yard to this kind of yard because last time I tapped in, they said Terre Hut was a dropout yard or whatever. But back then, it was gangland,
right? And it was a real pen, right? The real penitentiary. You know what I'm saying?
And Terre Hut is the oldest penitentiary in the Midwest because when you came in, it really wasn't all these new USPs. Right. It was only a few, and
they stopped building them in 2000 and like 2. They stopped building.
Yeah, you seen a lot of these motherfuckers get constructed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
We watched part 2 go right in front of our face like the Sphinx out the sand. You know what I'm saying? They built us and then I was on the first bus load to go from the old pen to the new pen.
Yeah. So if you know anything about the feds, like the two main penitentiaries for Midwest inmates was Leavenworth and Terre Hut, which are actually two of the oldest federal institutions in the Federal Bureau of Prisons. But when you got to Terre Hut, like, what was one of your first experiences at Terre Hut?
I mean, you know, this is my first time in the penitentiary. I never did state time, so just getting the homeboy time, you know what I'm saying? That was shocking to me because, you know, on the streets, you know, we get a couple dollars, you know what I'm saying? Even when I'm a folk on the hustle, and you know, I love foes, but when you get money, you know, you got
different foes.
You got some strong foes. You got some foes that's nice and that's not necessarily as strong as they should be. So it just, you know, you pick and choose. You know what I'm saying? Who you rotating with. Got love for everybody, but you rotating with a selected few. So getting into the penitentiary and just being responsible for so many goddamn guys that's riding under the brand. You know what I'm saying? I just know them, but then eventually they would pop out here and there. You see the flaws will come out through time and pressure. But just being subjected to a bunch of individuals that's, you know what I'm saying, that was, you know what I'm saying, proclaiming a thing without it ever being tried and tested and proven to be what it was, that was kind of shocking to me. You know what I'm saying? I write that in my one book, 20 Straight. That's one of the things I write about, just how it was so awkward for me to come in and just be responsible for some guys I might not even want to even talk to. You know what I'm talking about?
And I kind of got into that a little bit on my episode with Street Lord Rook, like the homeboy shit.
Yeah.
And that's kind of something I'm going to visit on every episode with everybody, because everybody got their own experience with the homeboy shit. Because that shit like weird. Like, man, you could have had real smoke on the street, like fucking with each other on gunplay. But now, behind these walls, we kind of got to keep it cordial because you identified by where you from in the feds. And the motherfucker ain't separating no T-Mac or 4, Real to GD, Real Blase Split. Them niggas all from Chicago. Them niggas all from Illinois. Them niggas all from Detroit. Them niggas all from Michigan. So we group together by default. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So you gonna deal with a lot of motherfuckers that you wouldn't deal with. A lot of shit-eating motherfuckers, a lot of garbage-picking motherfuckers.
And
like,
them the ones win. Them the type of suckers that win when they take advantage
of the relationships.
The strength that come from real motherfuckers they would have never had access to. So now they go not just take advantage of it on just riding it, but they try to play chess with the shit.
They benefit from it.
They benefit from something. You know what I'm saying? They know they rob a motherfucker, they get outstanding debts, do sucker shit without the man. They know it's a hands-on policy. Ain't no other state, no other race gonna touch Buddy because he riding with the Midwest or riding with the folks on the lords. You know what I'm saying? So now you got these clowns that we didn't got on board and we ain't seen who they is yet. And you know what I'm saying? And they playing it. You know what I'm saying? They playing that motherfucker like a real chess game. You know, it's irritating me because if you can't get even if you see it, you ain't got no proof. You can't bust a motherfucker ass until you a little kind of wild and out there. Like, damn, Joe, they ain't gonna go. Oh, I just felt it, Joe. He was who out the bed. Joe, just one of the homies, Joe. They on you because you done jumped on one of the homies because you ain't got nothing concrete. You just feeling your heart. Because
it's to a certain extent, it's protocols and a chain of command on how you handle shit. That's where the prison politics come in, you know what I'm saying? But
that was the first thing in Terry being responsible for a lot of guys. Like that was the first thing, and then even that, just the detention and paying attention to me. Next to that, really before that, it was detention. Because when I first got in there and walked in there and realized I was in the pen, I'm like, man, I just felt it was bloody. It was bloody in everything night play. So everything, it's one thing walking around with guns on the street. When you in that steel and that concrete all day, and hear motherfucker around these motherfuckers. These man eaters, Joe, here motherfucker walking around with some animals on them. I'm talking about, that's a whole nother game, you know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers think they tough fighting and shooting, that's cool. But I'm talking about when you got, this night play, this a whole nother level. This turn you into an animal, like.
I never experienced it from the level of a pen. Right. I was at a rockin' ass medium.
Right.
And at the time I was at the meeting, my mom had just died, so I'm like on all bullshit. You got to have, you know what I mean? Like, detention at McKean was like pen level tension.
Right,
you know
right.
It's on go.
Right.
You got some mediums, like I just left Jessup where I come home from.
Ain't
Jessup ain't got no type of, it's a low with sales. But
inmate scared. You tell an inmate you got a knife, he's scared.
But you know, during my 15 years, you know, I've always heard stories and the horror stories about the pen.
Right.
Because motherfuckers lose their life at lows and mediums or whatever, but at that pen, it's damn near life or death every day they pop them doors.
That's what make a pen a pen. Just the president of the night play. When ain't nothing, no fight, everything a stab.
Yeah.
When everything a stab, that would make it a pen. That would make motherfuckers tiptoe. That would make motherfuckers scared.
That's what make the respect level so high.
Right. When you know it every
because
day.
Because it's checks and balances. You know if you get wrong,
they stabbing you. Their warning is a stab.
Yeah.
That's your warning. You get stabbed.
Ain't no talking.
So that when you got goofy suckers and then you got all niggas with this fuck shit in their background ain't been discovered, that's driving them crazy because they just know one day when that motherfucker get up, you know, they be hawking the bus and shit, thinking somebody coming like a pigeon, a messenger pigeon coming off the bus, goddamn it, who you is? You know what I'm saying? They walk with this motherfucker.
And that's something we gonna get into later in this episode, man, because that's a motherfucking, I remember, you know, vividly, it got to the point when we was down Ford City with me and you met together.
Right.
We didn't give a fuck about that bus coming in.
Don't bring them motherfuckers to me.
We scared of niggas with blue shoes on. That was the saying. I'm scared of niggas with blue shoes.
Nigga, fuck out of here.
You motherfucker.
What you got for me, nigga? I've been out 20 years. I ain't got no goddamn care baggage.
You motherfucking right.
Give me a goddamn, come bring me a motherfucking care baggage. I've been in goddamn the cave for 20 years.
You just came off the street.
Yeah, and you feel me? You only got 3-4 years. You get the bag. What a bag is. You should have everything. I ain't got a bitch ass.
And I mentioned that You know what I mean? It's two different, like, not even two different. I'm sure you've seen the system change so many times, because I've seen it change so many times in my time. But you came in the era of the old feds. I caught the ass end of the old feds.
Right.
But by the time both of us left, it was this new feds to where it was like a United States County jail.
Yeah, that's all
it
it is.
Pope broke motherfuckers like, I've been in 13, 14 years and I still got more money, more motion, more motherfuckers writing me, checking for me. You niggas just off the street don't got, you know what I mean?
They come off the street doing bad.
So,
I'm talking about looking terrible.
I said all that to say this, that I know for a fact that it was a point in both of our bits where we wasn't checking for that bus. I don't give a fuck who ratting this motherfucker. If you ain't a motherfucker I really know, I'm gonna sit and watch how you move before I just start fucking with you. I gotta accept you because you from Michigan, but I don't got to fuck with you.
You
know
see,
what
I
I'm
just
saying?
run the motherfuckers out. Don't bring no motherfuckers from Chicago to me.
And that's one credit I give you because, you know, I've been in countless prisons. I think I went to 7 different institutions, but I've seen so many different type of motherfuckers, and I've rarely met a motherfucker who really stood on all 10. Not all 10 as far as not telling, but as far as their morals and principles, because even me, I conformed a little bit to where I was at certain institutions, but I ain't never seen you do that. I don't give a fuck who it was. You gonna stand in your motherfucking seat and block everything out. I don't give a fuck about none of you niggas get the fuck on. I ain't talking to rat, no child. I don't give a fuck what you got, and I commend you on that. Because I seen so many so-called real niggas or thorough men conform to, damn, homie, you on that type of time?
Right.
And I kind of pride myself because I ain't never let myself do no weird shit to where motherfucker looking at me funny, but okay, of course, I conformed a little bit in certain situations. But I never gave up my morals or my principles, but you one motherfucker, I can say stood on that shit 150%.
Ain't no question.
You don't give a fuck what's going on around, you know what I mean?
Fuck away from people, that's it. Ain't no question.
Back to Terre Haute. So how long was you at Terre Haute?
I came to Terre Haute 2001 and I left in 2007. So.
And during that motherfucking 6 years, you spent 2 of them years in the shoe.
My last 2 years, I was in the shoe, yeah.
Explain that situation a little bit.
You know, like we said, man, we in the pens, goddamn it, motherfuckers forget about you. The soccer continues, goddammit. How the motherfucker got all this motherfucking time on his head, motherfucker. The little bro started leaving, family members started speaking Spanish and some more shit. Hey, a motherfucker got put his motherfucking Timbs back on. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So we in the pen with the Timbs on. We gotta get it hood crook shit. So with that, we putting pressure on every motherfucker, police included. You know what I'm saying? For you know, we got one. You know what I'm saying? And we ain't trying to fuck, we trying to play lawyer bills.
You motherfucker
What you talking about? You know, we trying to get back home, man.
Fuck the pussy, put it in my pocket.
I'm saying, they gave up on me. I ain't never gave up on me. The motherfuckers that's at the crib riding around with them suckers gave up on me. I ain't never gave up. You know what I'm saying? So now, let's get it. You know what I'm saying? Get the police, boom, we flipping, we getting money. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't even get no money with us. If you want to send no money to your lawyer, you couldn't get money with us. That was our rule. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't even be, we wasn't been let no motherfucker get access to what we had unless you had a lawyer bill. You know what I'm saying? Every motherfucker had, I was the only motherfucker with the little time with 35 years. Everybody else had 2, 3 life sentences, 6 life sentences. Everybody I got down with, we was lawyer orientated and focused on it. You know what I'm saying? So it all made sense. You know what I'm saying? Give a fuck about no hole, give no fuck about nothing else. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get out of jail. You know what I'm saying? I got my ends, goddamn it, justified. My means justified my means justified my ends. That's how we was moving. So that would put me in a hole, which I did, goddamn it, like a champ, because that was what the lit read. You know what I'm saying? We was trying to get home. So I don't give a fuck what you do to me. Put
so
me
the ends justified the means.
It justified it. You know what I'm saying? Even though they didn't find none, you know, you got
the under investigation.
There it is. They said the feds picking it back up. They can keep prolonging your whole hole. It went 2 years. They finally kicked the motherfucker out. Sent on to the East Coast to Lee County. That was my next spot.
So before we get to Lee County, I got to touch on this because a very monumental moment in not just federal bureau prison history, but in United States history happened while you was at Terre Haute.
Exactly.
Timothy McVeigh.
Right.
You know Timothy McVeigh, he a terrorist that was allegedly bombed one of those federal buildings in Oklahoma, if I'm not mistaken. But Timothy McVeigh was sentenced to death, and they actually executed him at Terre Haute because if you know anything about USP Terre Haute, that's the only federal institution that has death row.
Right.
And
that's the death row.
They executed Timothy McVeigh while you were there.
Yeah, 4 or 5 months after I got in the pen, you know, they had brought the death penalty back, you know what I'm saying, after 30 years. And, you know, they got up with Shorty, you know what I'm saying? Like we were saying, I was telling you earlier, just like the weird shit about it was being that, you know, you hear a motherfucker that bombed the federal building, Army, you know, one old go hard militant white boys, you know what I'm saying? Bomb, you know what I'm saying? You be like, I was like, fuck him, you know what I'm saying? He bombed the people that trained him. I ain't even think about it. It was fucking. But when you get in the play, get in the pen with him, and you see this white boy take a stand, just like some of the men that you respect take a stand. It wasn't about his color, about what the crime he committed. It was the fact that he went to trial just like you went. You fought the government. You know what I'm saying? They applied pressure. He withstood the pressure of the government. Took his motherfucking lick. And goddamn it, you know what I'm saying, was on death row, waived all his appeals, goddamn it, and said bring on the death penalty. When you in the pen and when you in that prison comic state of mind, people that act in that capacity, them are your comrades, you know what I'm saying? Because
you got a certain gratitude for
right, because them the people that take a stand are like your comrade. Because that's what the men consider the men are with men inside that environment. The stand-up men, 10 toes down, they whatever pleasure apply, you bench presses, you push it, you don't bend, you don't break your own fold. People that take that type of position are commended and saluted by men like me, men like yourself.
And that's the thing about it, like in those type of situations, that's where respect comes from. It don't come from how much money you got or
right.
how much ice you got. And that's what's wrong with you motherfuckers out here on the street now. Y'all don't know real morals or real principles and where to bond with a motherfucker or what to bond with a motherfucker over, or what's the word to use? Not even what the fucking
you say, man, that's the level. I mean, they
just to show gratitude to a motherfucker over, just to like commend a motherfucker for it. You know what I'm saying?
The principle, like the Bible,
exactly.
the Quran say, yo, you say we got a reprobated mind. The things that you supposed to be shameful for, you bragging about, the shit you bragging about, you supposed to be ashamed of. Vice versa. The shit you supposed to be ashamed of, you loud about, and the things you supposed to do proudly, you shame about. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. The guys they salute now, the ones they dick holding or riding dick. Probably they don't give a fuck if he told, don't give a fuck if he fat, fuck a motherfucker, cross a motherfucker, they don't give a fuck none of that shit. If he got some goddamn rims and goddamn some chains around his neck and some designer shit on, that's my man. You can dress a monkey up and a motherfucker go right behind that monkey. Dress him up in a lot of Louis Vuitton and put that little hairy motherfucker in a Porsche something.
That's one of my sayings for these bras out that's caught up in that.
Yeah.
Bitch a fucking told with a bag. You know what I'm talking about?
They don't get no fuck. They just want a motherfucker whoever got a bunch of stacks in their hands, designer shit all over their body, tattoos and goddamn tight ass pants.
And that's an episode for the Worldwide podcast.
We gonna get them. We gonna get them.
Not only do we got My Fair Vacation podcast, also got the Worldwide podcast coming soon. We gonna address a lot of more issues than just federal time, prison inmates and shit like that. So be on the lookout for Worldwide podcast too. But so you was at Terre Hut. Timothy McVeigh was executed. You did 2 years in the SHU. Then you got shipped to Lee County.
Yeah.
What was Lee County like?
Okay, that's the district, guy from the district, that was their backyard now. When I first came in the pen, they hadn't had them penitentiaries over on the East Coast. Well, Kentucky, Lee County, Virginia, Macquarie, Big Sandy wasn't even built yet. So the DC brothers, it was in our backyard stronger than we would. We was the gang, Lois and the folks would be over here. And them whole motherfucking DC had a whole section because they have everybody from the East Coast ride with them. You know what I'm saying? So when I got there, the biggest thing you noticed was you in the DC in their backyard.
And clarify this for me and for all the viewers, like the Midwest Coalition, which is all the inmates from Midwestern states banding together as one. The Midwest Coalition was kind of created to combat the DC dudes had on other dudes,
yeah,
right?
Ain't no question. And that in my time, in my bit when we got down there, me and Big T, the brother Riley out of Indianapolis, you know what I'm saying? A bunch of the guys, you know what I'm saying? All the hip, I ain't got to say nobody's name. The guys, we was there in a hut, and we was standing 10 toes down, you know what I'm saying, against anything that was moving, goddamn it, like they want to move like some savages. But the DC brothers, they was also moving like that, you know what I'm saying? You asked me, the two prominent, you know what I'm saying, forces inside the feds was like, you know what I'm saying, the gang guys, what they consider the folks in the Lord, and the DC. What I mean by that, ain't not saying that ain't no thorough dudes in other cities, but we saying it joint for joint. Joint for joint. Joint for joint, you're gonna find these are the strongest guys. These are the ones that you got to look out for. You can't do no fuck shit to them nowhere inside the system and think it's gonna goddamn it just be left in the system, in the air. You do something to a motherfucker that's from a folks or one of the lords, and you goddamn it, it's on its way to you. You do something to one of them district brothers, you know what I'm saying? It's on you. You got a problem all while you in the system. You know what I'm saying?
And that's why on every episode you gonna hear me mention the DC dudes, because them motherfuckers is that savage. They motherfuckers that real. You know, they got a bad name with a lot of the gay shit, the faggy shit, because some of the motherfuckers is true savages on that end. You know what I'm saying? On some weird shit. But you got a lot of good men from DC. And actually, I was talking to one of my men from DC. He in the joint with a phone. He was calling me. We was on live earlier. And I was cellies with 2 DC dudes for 2 years, and we still got good relationships. So you definitely gonna see some DC dudes on this episode. You know what I'm saying? So.
And let them break that thing
Exactly,
down.
because they're going to keep it real. Because me and my celly was talking the other day, and I was telling him about the podcast, and, you know, I say, Slim, dig this shit, Slim. You just got to keep it real in this motherfucker, you know what I mean? Because you niggas is real wild, Slim. You niggas some wild niggas, you know. I get to talk like a DC nigga when I talk to my celly.
Right,
He's
right.
like, yeah, you know, I got some savage homeboys, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, shout out to my celly Magnificent, you know what I'm saying? Mel, one time DC, man.
Ain't
Gonna
no
get this
question.
motherfucking keep it real.
Ain't
So,
no question.
Lee
He
County
ain't
was
saying
DC. Lee County was DC backyard.
That was that 100 per unit. 100 per unit. So that right there, all the other cars, everybody reduced down to goddamn Christians and religious groups. Hey, the guy that, hey, the district, they slimmed every car down. And you gonna be left number with your real mighty, with your almighty, real mighty men. You ain't finna have no fluff. Niggas want to get religious. Niggas in the hole. Niggas getting out of there, John. Niggas is, if they ain't going, they can't just stay in that motherfucker. Hey, they ain't playing.
So what was the difference besides the district brothers? What was the vibe? What was the difference in the vibes at Terre Haute and Lee County?
Me personally, I enjoy it. With all the guys. Once they opened the jails and got the DC guys out of the backyard, because they was getting near home transferred, and when they started putting the influx of Chicago dudes, I really didn't like it. I didn't really like being around a lot of the homies because I felt like I'm babysitting. You know what I'm saying? So me personally, when I got out of town, like in DC, that's when you really get a chance to get them, and you know what I'm saying, let your nuts hang and show a motherfucker that you a motherfucker.
And I can attest to that because I kind of enjoyed myself more at joints when it wasn't no whole bunch of Michigan dudes, especially like in the latter part of my bit when I was the elder statesman, and I was forced to be the shot caller in certain jails, but it's only a handful of us. I control that, as opposed to being in Elkton. It's 300 niggas from Michigan.
See what I'm saying?
McKean, it's 200 niggas from Michigan.
See?
It's always gonna be a headache.
It's a headache.
Because one thing about us in the Michigan car, we so fucked up because Detroit don't got no structure. We don't got no organizational as far as gang background. So Detroit gonna always move as I'm a boss, you a boss, you a boss, and I'm so against it. It's like a crab in the barrel type of shit.
And when you say gang background, what you mean? You just mean a structure.
Exactly.
We coming in with a structure from the streets. We got literature from the streets that everybody must be orientated with before joining. And it dictate how you move. So it dictate how you move on in the street and in jail. So
and even today.
Even today.
Even though gangs are in Detroit now more than they ever was when I was growing up, but they still don't have that structure.
Structure is a new breed that's coming in because they don't want the structure. The very thing that gave it power, these new jack motherfuckers want to be a rat and still be in the game. They want to be a fag and be in the game. And the structure, the literature forbids that. It forbids the telling. It forbids the homosexuality. It forbids really a lot of the violent shit that you see us perpetuating on ourselves. If truth be told, we lay our literature on the table. The GDs, the folks, all the literature, the Kings literature, the Stones literature, the Lords, and the folks. You lay all our literature, the documents that created these organizations. You will see that majority of the guys perpetrating a fraud by not living the life
on the code.
What the codes lay down. You know what I'm saying? So I say that to say, when people say gang, I know you know what it means, but people on the podcast don't know when he's saying you don't have no gang background, he mean the structure, because we come in screening people, because we're going to ask you to know your pieces, and when we screen you to make sure you know your pieces, that your pieces, when you spit them, what you telling us that you know your do's and your don't. You know what I'm saying? You know what you're supposed to do, you know what you don't supposed to do. So motherfucker, goddamn it, find out that paperwork hard, you know we don't tolerate rats, you gone. We find out, goddamn it, you doing some old crazy shit you had to do with some homosexual, you gone. Right, we got rules, you can't do no anything with us. We got structure, our streets is as savage as they want to goddamn it say it, we damn they got more structure than some of these legitimate organizations. You know what I'm saying? Some shit we just don't do, they do any motherfucking thing.
And when it trickles down to the prison system, that's one thing that my state, my car don't have. So I enjoyed being around where it was less of us than it was more of us.
Ain't
you
no
know what I mean?
question,
Because
now-
a lot of motherfuckers need strength in numbers, but I ain't never been that type of motherfucker.
Ain't
Because
no question.
I'm gonna be real, whether it's 6 of us on the compound or if it's 300 of us on the compound. And when me and you met at Ford City, it was shit. 6 or 7 of us from Michigan, and that's Michigan. Maybe 3 from Detroit. And, you know, I was buck. I'm me wherever the fuck I go.
Ain't no question.
Ain't no change.
Ain't no question.
But so that was the environment at Lee County. Once they got all the DC dudes out, it was like you ain't like it no more.
Right. I mean, not Lee County. You said it again?
When they moved all the DC dudes from Lee County, you said you kind of
No. They moved them from Terre Haute to Lee County and Hazleton and Big Sandy. So now, when I end up doing an administrative transfer, getting caught, I'm fucking with the police. They shoot me to another PM, which is Lee County. Now I'm there with all DC. When I was in Terre Haute with them, they was deep, and now I'm in the backyard.
Oh, okay, my bad. I thought you said when it was at Lee County, once they moved them to near release transfer.
No, that was they never released. Lee County was a joint they went to. So when I ended up there, that's why they was 100 per unit. Because all of them, soon they was letting the papers, you sign up and you go near release. They had the paper in the library.
Yeah, the same way they had it at Ford City.
Right,
They
they
was down
was-
there for us to get to what's the joint in Connecticut with Pontiac and them went?
I don't know. Weird ass shit.
Danbury. Remember they had the list of sign up
yeah,
for Danbury.
they took off.
Yeah, and I was signed to go to Danbury and got in trouble with the bitch in the library.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But how long did you eventually stay at Lee County?
I stayed Lee County maybe like 2 years, man. Yeah, about 2 years. And because I was an administrator, I had medium points, but medium high. And since I had just had got jammed with the police, they want me to sit up there for a minute. And then, you know what I'm saying, they shoot me back.
Because it's usually 18 months before you can transfer.
Right, so
18
that's how that
months
works.
for
So
conduct.
they gave me the clear conduct and brought me back down to a medium and sent me back to my next joint, was that Manchester.
Manchester, Kentucky. So, you know, we visited this on the first episode. So when you got to Manchester, that vibe was totally different from a Penn vibe, wasn't it?
Oh, when I walked into, I forgot, I never knew that the Penn vibe and low vibe and camp vibes even existed, because remember, I came straight from the building.
And all you was used to was a Penn.
And 2 pins. So I didn't even know that was a reality. I didn't know it was a place inside the same institute, same system. They got, the feds got 120 some joints inside the mediums, the lows, the penitentiary, the camps. I had just been to the building, which was running like a pen, you know what I'm saying? Basically, because dudes was fighting for their life, you know what I'm saying? So it was more vicious than what the pen could be. Mo was trying to kill you in it for real. I'm talking about going to court, making up shit, trying to destroy you. So it was just all hands on. It was all to the max in the building. Then I went down to Terre Haute. Then I went to Lee County. When I walked into Manchester, first they didn't put no motherfucking. I don't know what they wanted, but we walked in from the street. You know what I'm saying? No, we got all these barbed
Off the bus
wire.
and they let the shackles off, you don't walk right in.
Yeah, I'm talking about this the first bad. Then you got
You
the
used to
fucking-
be in black box and belly
Man, I'm
days,
talking
bro.
about
You
tight as a
know what
motherfucker. I'm talking with the pistols on you, goddamn it, 2 at a time. I'm talking about every time you move. So this and they let us out. It's just the energy and the birds. You hear the birds and shit singing still. You couldn't even, a bird wouldn't even sing near the pen. The birds knew some bullshit was
You
going
knew
on.
death was in there.
As soon as you walking, man, they got trees and shit on the compound, birds and shit flying next to your face. They friendly birds and shit. Motherfuckers skipping, inmates skipping this shit up the motherfucking walkway. These niggas happy as a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So I walked in that motherfucker, I was like, oh, hell no. And it's crazy, we down in Jackson now, cause one of the little homies was in goddamn Lee County. I used that when I'm talking to the Midwest homies doing inventory slowly, but sure, like, it's a Jackson homie up there, so I'm trying to get him out the unit, like, who is he? So when I finally get him out the unit, I'm like, Joe, he wasn't on nothing, he was just from Jackson, Michigan. So after you get to talking to him, who was he found on the company, like, man, it's a dude from Jackson here too. I'm like, Jackson? Well, so I want to see who this is. I've been, you know what I'm saying, running through Jackson a little bit. So when I finally get him, you know what I'm saying, I'm like, Joe, I fuck with the fights, you know what I'm saying, and the folks, and I also fuck with the Midwest car too. We all together, we up here, we gotta stay together. So when we come out and work, y'all come out here together. But my point I'm trying to make is, the homie down in Jackson was just used to be sad. Because that's how funky it used to be with the work, with the drama. So when he's sad every day. I never seen him every day. So he was always sad. So when I got to Manchester and they take me to the gym, he running full court. Cause they like, man, cause they got the full court in Manchester, like a college. I'm talking about they running full court like they out in the street. So I come in there and everybody know we ain't see the dudes come off the bus. So I'm sitting on the sideline and the homie that never was always sad from Jackson, he was on the court playing a full court. He was like blood. He stopped in the middle of the court, like, blood. So I'm looking at one of the homies, like, who brought me to the gym. I'm like, man, what's going on, Joe? I recognize his face, but I ain't never seen him smile, so he looked different. He looked different. Cause he was always sad. Now he's smiling, blah, blah. I'm thinking he on some bullshit. I'm like, what? I'm cutting my mouth, I'm talking, I'm like, Joe, what buddy on, Joe, with this? He's like, man, one of the homies, Joe. I'm like, in the middle of the court, though, while he coming down the court, yelling and shit? Come on, stop playing. But to let you, now it wasn't no foul, and it was just that pen had a motherfucker scared to death.
Whole different vibe.
No foul on, but he's still a good dude, because he done went to Florida, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't check in with him. He just somewhere he ain't in Jackson no more, but he down there doing great. But at that particular time, that pen was killing his motherfucking vibe.
And that shit would make him break you, you know what I'm saying?
That shit was Kendrick Lamar.
Some of the strongest niggas ball up in the motherfucking. Oh yeah, Lamar, that was one of our shit back that joint. Niggas Lamar me, killing my motherfucking vibe.
He Lamar me, Joe. Joe, he Lamar the motherfucker with that, yeah, but his Lamar was killed. Leave Lamar. All that stab and shit, that shit was sad. Saw that man in that motherfucking meeting, he was happy as a motherfucker, looking good, working out, cooking and shit. I'm like, damn, I ain't know Lee County was a beast until he showed me that. So, like, Lee County, a motherfucker.
Kentucky is technically the South, but it's kind of considered the Midwest.
Right.
So, what was the vibe as far as the geographical shit at Lee County?
You talking about Manchester.
At Manchester.
Manchester was sweet. That was a Kentucky and Ohio spot. That was their backyard. And so, like I say, since like you just said, Midwest is considered sometimes the Kentucky and Ohio. Of course, Ohio and Kentucky too. They all say they Midwest. I had never been around a lot of dudes from Ohio. That's 1-2 states I just never knew anybody from. And since I had always kind of like been rewarded when I went out and met dudes, when I say rewarded, blessed by, when I go meet somebody, I get blessed to meet some motherfuckers that make me like, damn, Joe, it's real motherfuckers everywhere. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm in Jackson, came Jackson in the 90s, and like, damn, this motherfuckers like, you know what I'm saying? I was thankful I'm able to see again. I thought about these brothers, prayed for these brothers that they survived, wishing that I got out here and you know what I'm saying? I got my Timbs dirty with some of these dudes. You know what I'm saying? I can say, man, that's a real motherfucker. So I done went to different places and been rewarded everywhere I went by meeting a real motherfucker. So now Ohio and Kentucky was 2 places I had never went, and I was supremely rewarded because they had a super duper player vibe, man. I respect them and salute all them brothers from Ohio, real motherfuckers from Ohio and Kentucky that I met. They left a good impression on me. You know what I'm saying? I like how they move. I like their original swag. I like that. Like they got their own. I like that. I like
because they really got a down south vibe as far as compared to us.
Okay.
In Cleveland, because when you saying Manchester in Ohio, I know so much, so I know it's basically Cincinnati dudes.
Yeah, you know what it is. So
but the vibe is different from Cincinnati and Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
Cleveland dudes rotate on basically, not no disrespect to nobody from Cleveland, but y'all kind of like sons of us, the sons of y'all.
Right.
They move off the Detroit, Chicago vibe to as to where Cincinnati got this whole different vibe.
Right.
They're more laid back, more player. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So,
nevertheless, you know what I'm saying, Ohio and Kentucky, that was their backyard. So you had a chance to just experience Ohio and Kentucky dudes. They was the strongest, and they ain't went the strongest trying to abuse it. It was like they was the strongest with hospitality. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't even, when them brothers, one thing
shit.
Right, they wouldn't even put up on you without their paperwork. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't, that's one thing, they had no structure. They lacked the structure like you say some other Midwest states lacked it, but they knew how to implement the right things in that type of environment. That paperwork, the driving license,
principles.
Man, they wouldn't even pull up on you. Hey, man, that's me, Joe. Check me out. I want to holler at you something about that book. They want to get checked out first before they even get everybody walking around with their driver. Like that was like, it was a blessing to be in a medium that I felt a different vibe from the pen, but that pen principle was still there. You know what I'm saying? And I salute, because I know when I started traveling, whoever backyard it is gonna dictate what it is. If that's your backyard, y'all, the majority of y'all say fuck paperwork, there's gonna be a fuck paperwork joint. You're gonna have a lot of fuck niggas walking around.
That's what's gonna create the vibe.
Exactly. Whoever backyard is, them the dudes responsible for the vibe. I just left Yazoo, cold shit. Some cold shit.
And we spoke on this in,
you know what I'm saying?
In the previous episode we did. I left Jesse, and I got to say this again, like, cause I got some good men from Florida,
Right.
from Georgia, but the majority,
Right.
the overall vibe of them 2 cars,
Right.
man, they're the most unruly, uncouth, wicked, stupid, dumb motherfuckers I ever met. You know what I mean? Like I say, no disrespect to the good men, but them niggas don't stand for nothing. Like, that shit is a bunch of fuck shit. And I think it's kind of like, for real, when you play a psychology thing on, I think it's like, I ain't scared of no white people. I grew up in Detroit. Detroit, the blackest city in America.
Right.
So I ain't scared of no crackers. I don't give a fuck about no white people. But down south, they used to oppression of white people, so they kind of like, they got that instilled in them where they just like go for anything.
That what you get? That what you get?
That's what I take it as. They like used to get ran over by white people, so they go for anything to where I don't give a fuck. I don't see no motherfucking white motherfucker from Detroit.
We go hard on one another.
Fuck it.
Go super hard.
Yeah, but they ball up for the white people, but it's like that what the fuck, that timidness rubs off into the vibe of their cars, you know what I'm saying? So they ain't standing for nothing, like they don't have no backbone.
Right.
And like again, I gotta say this again because this is a disclaimer, no disrespect to the thorough motherfuckers from Florida or Georgia, but overall, as a car, as 2 cars at FCI Jessup, get the fuck out of here.
Just like that.
Niggas need to be nailed to the cross.
Just like that.
So, you ain't stay at Manchester long.
I stayed about the same time I stayed at Lee County, about a year and a half.
And from after Manchester, you went to the infamous Forest City.
The Forest. We was out back in the Forest, baby.
And that's what we met at, man. And like, you know, I did 5 years and 10 months at Forest City. I think you did maybe about the same amount of time at Forest City.
I did a bunch
and that was like the best time on my bed.
Forest City.
Man, at Forest City, like,
turn it up.
Anything goes at Forest City.
Forest
you know what I'm saying?
City.
It wasn't no structure, but you can get into whatever the fuck you want to get
Forest
to.
City.
And for me, that was the first black-ran institution.
Right.
I come from Elkton.
Right.
Elkton in Hillbilly Town, Ohio.
No question.
I come from McKean. McKean is in the fucking mountains of Pennsylvania.
Right.
But now to get to Arkansas and it's just ran by all black motherfuckers, that like blew my mind. Like,
Literally.
what? Like, okay.
Literally blew it.
I've been seeing these motherfucking trailer trash ass white women for the last motherfucking 5-6 years. I get to Forest City to see all black women.
Lost your motherfucking mind.
And I'll never forget, like when we first pulled up to Forest City, my first memory of Forest City is we pulled up in front of Forest City and Miss Ballard. Ugly as a motherfucker from Brooklyn, New York, but ass so fat. And she just out there. And she just out there giving it up. I'm like, man, what the fuck? Where the fuck I'm at?
Welcome.
Then we get that motherfucker see Miss Tate and all type of other motherfuckers.
Welcome.
What?
Welcome.
I love it here.
And they blind spot is brought up, shut the door on you, how you in the back room, how you anywhere you want to be. They didn't even give a fuck about they bro. Like, I don't give a fuck.
So to say all that is, so when you got to Forest City, your experience was the same as mine when I got to Forest City.
Well, come on, man, that was low, Joe. Chomo low. You know what I'm saying? Chomo motherfucking low. And if a Chomo can make it, imagine what a real motherfucker gonna do.
And when we say Chomo is a terminology that we use in the system for a child molester. And at one point in time in Forest City, it was 2,200 motherfuckers on the compound.
Yeah.
900 of them was Chomo. Child molesters. You know what I'm saying? So
Chomo low.
you really couldn't press them because they like had the institution backing them. But
why would you press them? They letting you do it. Why would you waste your motherfucking time pressing the
That's what I was about to say.
Chomo? They got all this other shit
all
for you
the
to
benefits that we had to get into
Fuck
at
the
Forest City,
Chomo.
we didn't give a fuck about that
That
shit.
motherfucker go clean that bathroom out.
Yeah.
Nobody give no fuck about no Chomo, man. Fuck it. We can't change the system. We go. They ain't our shit. When motherfuckers start looking at it right, got the Chomo holding phones, got them goddamn it cleaning up the motherfucker, smoke all out the air, motherfucker get the blowing that drove, get up there and spray bleach. You know what I'm saying? You know, do this. You know what I'm saying? That's all. You know, I had them typing books and everything. Come on, man. You know I had them up in the library typing like slaves, man. Come on. Yeah, let's get that.
Yeah,
Book 2
was a, you know.
Book 3.
Again, I gotta put this disclaimer right here. You know, we not My Fair Vacation podcast is not to glorify prison, but
Definitely
as a
not.
man,
It's terrible.
you want to have your motherfucking way and be comfortable as you can wherever you at. And Forest City was like the most comfortable I had been in my bit. Like, you know, because, you know, they got the shit where you don't supposed to wear shower shoes.
Yeah.
You know, mediums and pen, that's like forbidden law. You better not be caught with no shower shoes
Exactly.
on. Forest City, I'm running around toes out.
Them motherfuckers out there that's tanning and shit in the grass.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
You talking about? Man, you about to run the trash, motherfuckers out there tanning and shit. Got their blankets and shit sleep. Come on, man. Stop playing with me, Joe.
Forest City was, that bitch was so beautiful, but that was why I got into the most trouble I ever been in my time in the federal
It wasn't beautiful. I'm saying to take
at
that
Forest
back.
City, because I
wasn't
stayed in
beautiful.
some shit because there was so much shit to get into, and I was like, buck wild. You know what I'm saying? So, what was your first experience in Forest City?
Man, the first experience. You damn, I came right there with the T.I. dude. Oh man, as soon as I got that, me and T.I. got that 2 days apart.
And that's what I was gonna get into, because that's what we got to get into. You know what I mean? I need you to clear this up. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead.
Rumor has it that you pulled a knife on T.I.
Right. That's the rumor.
That was the rumor, that man, your man Mac pulled a knife on T.I. You know what I mean? And, you know, I aware that you wrote the book In Prison with the Rapper T.I. You know, by you being my man, I had the privilege to read the book and everything, and I had to do my own research, because outside of you, my man, you know how shit be. You can misconstrue this book because it's a thin line between telling the truth and hating.
Right.
If I'm telling the truth, it's not hating.
Period.
But if I'm lying or fabricating some shit,
Why
that's
would you do
considered
that?
hating.
Yeah, why
So,
would you do that?
you know, I did my own investigation and proved out there wasn't nothing in that book hating.
Right.
It was all factual,
Right.
all shit that he really did, clown shit, whatever the case may be.
Right.
But, you know, he had a problem with you writing that book, or somewhat acted like he had a problem with you writing that book.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I had put the lick down. Little shorty used to be writing at the table. He was gonna go home, so I had already put the book together. And I had the flyers, the promotion, the whole plan put together. So I ain't want shorty to do to get out the building without knowing that the book was wrote. Let a motherfucker know you got a chance to dress it now. Fuck getting on the street and I drop it. That's some sucker shit.
You try to put a cease and desist to do some
Oh, that sucker
yeah.
shit. No, I ain't had. I'm doing what I'm gonna do. But I know this is chess. I'm playing chess, not checkers. So here, let him know I wrote the book, so you'll know this is me. I ain't got to die. That's my government name on there. That's not no motherfucking pseudonym. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so I sent the flyer back to him. He popped up. You know what I'm saying? Questioned the book, who book is this, and I, you know, reminded him who my government name was. He hadn't known me, and that's me, Joe. And he can't no motherfucker tell me nothing. What the man? So you know, at that particular time, voice it got a little loud, so I tried to invite him over to the cube. You know what I'm saying? Man, with this guy, it got real for a minute. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no knives come out, because the knife would have went out, the knife would have got pushed. We ain't touching no motherfucking knives and not using like we ain't touching no guns without using. So the same rule in effect, you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? It happened. Like he say, cooler heads prevail, you know what I'm saying? And you know, that's a whole nother interview.
But at the end of the day, Buddy almost got himself in some shit he didn't know he was getting into.
Man, I'm sure he would say that he would agree to that too. You know, he up on my unit in the back talking to me, surrounded by, you know what I'm saying, who he's surrounded by, don't know who he's surrounded by. I'm sure he would agree looking back that was a crazy move, and he got about it that one. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Motherfucking God was definitely, you know what I'm saying, on the side. You feel? God was on the side.
You gotta say expeditiously, nigga.
Yeah, we just trying to get some money. Everybody else wanted to question him. I'm like, man, all right, I ain't got no time for that shit. I just do mines like this. You know what I'm saying?
You know, we was at Forest City, we came across a few notable motherfuckers, you know what I mean? Sherman Williams played for the Dallas Cowboys, was Emmitt Smith backup, Super Bowl champion, he was down there with us.
Right.
But, you know, most notably for me and you is Hot Boy Turk.
Oh, my man. Hey, young that dog.
That's somebody that, you know, I had a relationship somewhat through our relationship with Turk.
Right.
But you got a real personal relationship with Turk, and
Right.
I got another respect for Turk because once Turk went home, he continued to shout you out. You know what I'm saying? So,
still fucking with him.
yeah, so that was like real nigga shit to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because like, I'll be sitting here fronting and say I didn't grow up off the Hot Boys.
Right.
I didn't listen to the Hot Boys.
And see, that's another thing with Turk, like, cause I didn't grow up listening to their music because they're younger than me, and when they was just coming out, I wasn't listening to music, and I got booked by the Feds, so I didn't know them through his music. You know, some people meet their guys through the music. Like I meet, if anybody listen, I learn them through the music. I never listened to his music, so when he hit the compound, and nobody introduced us. My man J Rock, you know what I'm saying, from Cali, like, Joe, that's Turk right there. He pointed him out to me in the library, so I just went straight to him trying to I'm writing, so I don't get no, I ain't really, anybody with some energy that's in the world, I know any motherfucker want they book. So my whole job is, man, I write books. So you trying to do something? You got one road, you want to do one? He respond to it like, yeah.
Under the same guys that me and you met.
The same exact thing, just real niggas.
I mean, that's how you move.
Cause first
I'm
of all,
trying to do this. I got this going on. Is you trying to do
period. That's dope.
You know what I mean?
Same shit we did. You know what I'm saying? That's real nigga shit. They ain't really he don't rap nigga. Ain't none of that. You know what I'm saying? He ended the motherfucker real. Cause one thing about I've learned with these books, ain't no sucker finna write no book. Just like ain't no sucker finna get no Facebook page and finna be on social media. A motherfucker, when I say sucker, when I'm talking about right now, I'm talking about rats. I'm talking about when I say them, there's many type of suckers. There's many flavors of suckers as it is ice cream.
That's a whole nother topic. We don't agree to disagree on that because there's so many niggas I know that suckers on that tip. They got Facebook pages and all that shit, but you know,
I'm just gonna.
In the sense of the prison, you was only moving with motherfuckers who was trying to see outside the prison.
Right, and do something with their energy that we can benefit from now. Like J-Bo, you know what I'm saying? Tur, yourself, you know what I'm saying? Real motherfuckers I'm fucking with, you know what I'm saying? Self, you know what I'm saying? Get back, you know what I'm saying? Self gave me a lot of game. I witnessed him get them a later game down, you know what I'm saying?
Shout out Seth, man, and I told you the other day, man. You told me to hit you up, man. I need your ass on this motherfucking couch, boy. Because you part of sparking that flame under me just as much as this man is.
Gorilla Convict, much respect to Self.
I got my first writing experience on GorillaConvict.com.
Right. Watching him put it down.
He was putting it down. This man started writing the Wall Street Story. I got my first article published on GorillaConvict.com. So again, shout out Seth Ferrani.
Plus, come on, man. Author Plus, my man too. That's Plus who hit me with who plugged me with Self. You know what I'm saying? That was Plus from the Booby Boy.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, down there in Florida. So
that was his man. He always spoke good to Plus.
So Plus is the one who introduced me and Self together. So shout out. And you do your shouts out. It's so many brothers that shout out to. If I miss somebody, they know it. I remember it in conversation because we done ran across so many brothers. It's just hard to mention everybody. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's how the TEE.YE thing went off, and we're gonna get off into that in another one of the episodes because I can take you all the way back to the incident need to be graphically ran back.
Detailed. You know what I mean? So I kind of forgot this, and I don't know how I forgot this, and you know what I mean. It bothered me that I forgot this, and I didn't mention this on the first episode we shot. But, a lot of bullshit happened as far as me being in the dumb shit at Forest City. But, like, for real, the moment that mean the most to me at Forest City was losing my man Big O.
Oh, man.
And Big O was in y'all unit.
Ain't no question.
And basically, I met you through being over there fucking with Big O. You know what I'm saying? My homeboy, Omar Ross, rest in peace. My man died down Forest City. So that was like my most memorable moment of Forest City. And my man was a good nigga, like a nigga that everybody loved, from the COs to the inmates. You know what I mean? When my man died, they had a memorial service in the in the chapel for him. COs was in that crown. You know what I mean? That much how much of a good brother Big was. But that's like my most memorable moment for Forest City, like Big dying down. And I forgot to even mention and shout my man out on that first episode. So man, rest in peace, my man Omar Ross. You know what I'm saying?
Rest in peace, Big O. I fuck with O. That was my man. We on the same unit together.
Yeah, for sure.
And we came in together like around the 2 days apart. I was vibing with him. You know what I'm saying? And he definitely, like you say, good vibe, big brother, gentle giant. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. And like Forest City mean the most to me in my bit because I was there the longest. Right. That's where the strongest relationships were cultivated at. That's where this relationship was cultivated and grew at. And it's a beautiful thing that both of us is free now here on this couch, on this podcast, pushing the agenda that we talked about behind
God did.
God did. You know what I'm saying? And we sit here right now pushing what we talked about in there. Yeah. We've been talking about a podcast since 2015.
And I got to give it to you every time we be in the room. You're like, Joe, you got to record this shit. You got to record this shit. I'm like, I know. I got to figure out how to do this shit. Yeah. Every time we talk, every time we be there, you come across, we get the vibe. Last thing, Joe, you got to, man, we got to do this shit. We got to record this shit. So I ain't gonna lie to you.
I look at it.
Yeah. You like my conscience, like get him, like sometimes I could be like, man, we ain't got to, we know who we is, but no, hell no, give it to him because we can go in. You know what I'm saying? We got the credentials, we got the experience. You know what I'm saying? Give it to him because if we by forfeiting our right, getting in front of these cameras and getting y'all how it really go. The way y'all think it, the way the motherfucker imagining it go is sticking as the truth when it ain't the truth. So we forfeiting our right by sitting back being quiet. We letting falsehood walk around in our clothes. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes I get down like, man, we ain't gotta go say nothing about nothing or say nothing about this and say nothing about that. But no.
We do.
We do. Because
one thing, listen, what's one thing you always told me? Fake motherfucker can't stand in the same space as a real motherfucker.
Period. All we gotta do is show up. They disappear. So all we gotta do is drop these motherfucking episodes and them suckers gotta moonwalk. Beat it. You know what I'm saying? Just like that. You know what I'm saying? When the truth appears, falsehood vanishes. Period.
That's your exact saying. I couldn't get into the science, but that was your exact saying. That's how you just say all that right there.
When the truth appears, falsehood gotta go bye-bye. You know what I'm saying? You walk around with that fake coochie on all them years until Buddy and them pulled up with the real deal. Now you tearing your shit apart as you should.
So essentially, you stayed in Ford City how long?
4C, like 8 years. Left that from the hole. It went back to the media.
And I can't talk because I done got shit from the hole and everything, you know what I mean? That hole a motherfucker. That shoe time a motherfucker. A lot of niggas, listen, a lot of niggas break in the shoe. Like, you know what I mean?
I didn't see it with my own eyes.
The shoe break a motherfucker, and for the shoe, we say the shoe, that's special housing unit. That's when you get
The hole.
That's jail inside the jail.
Jail in jail. Jail in the jail.
So, you know what I mean? So from Ford City, you got shipped to where? Yazoo?
Yeah, I went to the zoo. I'm talking about literally the motherfucking zoo.
So when you say the zoo, what the vibe was like that?
It just, man.
And that's Mississippi. So was the backyard a lot of Mississippi niggas?
Man, listen to me. You know how many vice lords and GDs in the state of Mississippi? See, I'm a vice lord. So it's something about being on a compound where it's about 100 vice lords and only 3 on count. You feel me?
A bunch of wild niggas.
I'm talking about savages. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you got the vice lord tattoos tattooed on your arm, but you ain't got none of the principal tattooed in your chest. You see what I'm saying? You faking like a Jamaican eating bacon. You faking. So that's a GD's and a vice lord. We gotta go tell these moms to start throwing the vice lord sign up because they done made up different sects of vice lords that don't even exist.
Ain't even been sanctioned.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. They done ran away with the mob and got the mob, you know what I'm saying, warding it down and adding shit to it and you name it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we was dealing with as a vice lord. Mississippi, we got the most members down south. We got a lot of vice lords, but it looked good on the top, but on the inside, the name with it man, it's more than meet the eyes.
Because we bought quality, not quantity.
Yeah, we want the real, man.
Less is more. I'd rather stand with 3 real niggas than 100 fake motherfuckers.
Man,
you know
facts. You know what I'm saying? That's what the lit read. You know, that's what I
you
lit.
stayed at Yazoo.
Stayed in Yazoo. Man, I come home from Yazoo.
But from Yazoo, you went actually back to the building and gave some time back. Am I correct?
Come on, you know I went back and gave them 9.5 years back, man.
That's one thing about it, man. You know, real relationships are real relationships, and no matter when we departed, no matter where we was at, you know, we had access to cell phones, so we stayed in contact.
Better
you know what I'm
believe
saying?
it. My new motherfucker gonna do it for it.
Hey Joe, I'm on this motherfucker for a couple of minutes, Joe. Hit me up, you know?
Ain't nobody gonna do it for him. I'm gonna try to kill it. They ain't want this shit to happen.
Yeah,
Them
for
fuck
sure.
niggas, man, and fuck bros. They bye when they get tough. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So you ended up, essentially you were sentenced to 35 years.
Right.
You know, giving back 9 years of that time.
Yes, sir.
And I know from the fuck shit these people play, you should have been home a little bit faster than what you was.
Right.
But they play games for the halfway house and all that shit. So
Yeah, they fucked me out of that
you
shit.
eventually coming home from Yazoo
Yeah, I came home May 30th. You know what I'm saying?
after doing 24 years.
Yeah, 24. That's it. For real.
So now that you home, man,
Right.
what did it feel like to be home?
Man, you know, I was just sitting back. The New Year just came in, right? And I didn't make a resolution, but I resolved some things. 7 months after being home, I resolved a few things. And a few things I resolved was, don't no motherfucker owe me nothing. I sat back for 7 months and watched and just sat patiently to see if any of the talk that I was being, goddammit, you know what I'm saying, bombarded with.
Oh, cause listen, you left me with a lot of motherfucking sayings that I'm gonna hold on to for life.
Go ahead.
And one of them I got down verbatim.
Go ahead.
That talk shit is dead.
Told you it's dead. You feel me?
Trust movement.
Trust only movement. So 7 months, right? This is what I done resolved that for the new year. I took a deep breath and I said, you know what? I have allowed myself to announce that I'm home. My presence, I've been here doing what a motherfucker be doing after 24th, trying to refill things out, trying to get his feet back up underneath him, trying to, you know what I'm saying, focus on what he got, not what he had, you know what I'm saying, trying to, you know what I'm saying, make the best out of whatever he got, trying to take some of the stuff that we've been working on and try to initiate it and put it into motion, you know what I'm saying, without my peripheral. I only got in my peripheral. I've been watching these motherfuckers that bombarded me with this motherfucking talking all these old goofy, empty ass promises.
Some of the niggas that I asked you about off camera,
What?
you done ran them away.
What?
They talk shit is dead.
What? So this is what I resolved though for the new year. Man, don't no motherfucker owe neither one of us. I just told baby girl that's coming up on the road. I said, man, I always knew motherfucker was faking a little. But I didn't think it was this bad.
And see, for me,
Joe, I didn't think it was this bad.
And I got a homie from Lansing, man. And we used to be talking like right before I come home because I met this brother on my way home. But he seen the motion I still had. After 15 years, when I say motion, I mean like the love that I had from the streets and motherfuckers still tapping into me. So he was under this false interpretation I was gonna come home to this and to this and to that. I said, man, that shit don't exist, bro. I ain't giving it up like that, and I knew this. So for me, I didn't have the expectations of nobody giving me nothing, nobody owing me nothing. So I prepared myself to have everything self-sufficient. Everything I came home doing was moves made by me. Because of moves I made, the sacrifices I made inside the joint.
And that's what we teach you. That's what we preach to each other doing the bit.
Exactly.
However, it's still, we know to go how you say go, but still to some people, I dare you to say certain things. Because they know how we move, and why would you dare say something like that?
It's like you trying me.
That's what I'm talking about right there. Because you know what you just described that we've been demonstrating that. Man, bag up, Joe, with that goofy girl shit. I'm talking about all the way back. Some more. I say back. You know what I'm saying? These is the motherfuckers trying us. So
okay, what the fuck you take me at?
Right, so the 7 months I'm just sitting back on the goddamn in my Fed vacation couch, just sitting back. Ain't saying a thing. Just letting them manifest. Just let me see you manifest and develop. Like the Puerto Rico. Let me see you. I ain't saying nothing. Now you said all that other shit. I'm trying to see what that shit looks like, what it here for. And it's worse than what I thought. So it's all love.